This is a nice and simple Alteryx Weekly Challenge. So we've got our athletes and their disciplines and what countries they come from. Our first job is to just find out how many athletes each country has. So we use a summarize tool. We're grouping by the NOC, which stands for the country in some way. I'm not sure what the NO stands for actually. And then we're just going to group by those. And then with the record IDs, we're just doing a count distinct. So we could probably do a count here because we assume the record ID is unique. But for me, I just always want to make extra sure that we're not double counting anyone. So I'm doing a count distinct here. And that gives us our first output, so our list of the countries and how many athletes they have. Next up, we want to find out which countries have the most athletes. So we're sorting from our summarize tool. We're doing a descending order sort for our count, so that the highest number of athletes are at the top. And then we're using a sample tool to get back the first 5 rows. So that's it again. That's nothing too complicated there. For the next point, we want to know the first 5 countries in alphabetical order who have the least amount of athletes. So again, we're using our sort, we're doing our count in ascending order, and then we are doing our country name in ascending order, so they're in alphabetical order. Just to double check that, so we can see yes, there are lots of countries that only have 2 athletes, but we only want the first 5 alphabetically. So again, we use our sample tool to get those first 5 rows, and we have our output again. Now the last part is a little bit trickier. We want to make sure that we have our country, discipline, that count that we were using before, and then the record ID is then concatenated up in this way. So first things first, I need to change the record ID to a string in order to do that concatenation. And then in our summarize tool, we're just making sure the NOC and discipline, we're grouping by both of those. Our record ID, we are doing a count distinct again, just like we did in the other summarize tool. But then we're also going to the record ID and going to add string and concatenate. And then when we click on this one, we can see that we have these little options down at the bottom. So we want this to start with the word athlete, so that in front of the first record ID, athlete space to be precise, we get the record ID preceded by the athlete, the word athlete, and then the separator, it's by default a comma, but we're adding a comma space athlete space, so that then any other record IDs also get the word athlete added on before them as well. And that's how that works. So hopefully that was nice and simple to follow. So thank you very much for watching.